Hi, and welcome to Georgian Court University's Medical Imaging Science Virtual Open House. I'm Louise Wooten. I'm the Director of the Medical Imaging and Clinical Lab Science Programs, also the Chair of Biology and the Director of Sustainability at Georgian Court. And I wish we could see you in person. We would be so excited to show you our fabulous biology department and all of the labs and the people in them, which are probably more important, and welcome you to our program. Just to give you a little sense of it, this is our anatomy physiology lab, micro lab. This is our cell biology lab. This is the building itself. I wish you were there. And just to give you a little bit of a flavor for the place, this is what it looks like when there are people in it. This is our anatomy physiology lab, where you would definitely spend some time if you come to Georgian Court, because anatomy physiology is a very important part of the prerequisites for the medical imaging program. Spend a lot of time learning about the various body parts and organs and systems. This is probably your most important prerequisite course. You do have to make at least a B- in anatomy physiology, both 1 and 2, in order to be accepted into the program. So for those of you who are not completely familiar with medical imaging, what you're doing is learning to use technology to make images of structures or systems within the body. The thing most people are most familiar with is the use of ultrasounds to take pictures of babies in the womb. You've probably seen many of them. But you can also use this technology to visualize blood clots, to look for damage in the heart, to look for problems or irregularities in the vasculature of any part of the body, and obviously to use that to potentially diagnose diseases or defects, things that might need intervention or treatment. The program at Rutgers is broken down into a couple of different subdisciplines. You can become a diagnostic medical sonographer, which is the most general training. You learn to do pretty much everything as a diagnostic sonographer, but you spend most of your time in the field probably working in obstetrics and gynecological applications. As I say, the most common of which is scanning unborn children. Then there is a subdiscipline that is now being merged. The vascular and cardiac pieces of their program are actually merging together into one, because they figured out that basically if you become a cardiac specialist, they always send you back for retraining into vascular. If you're a vascular specialist, they always send you back into training for cardiac. So now they're just cross-training all the students in that program. It's a great career to get into. The job opportunities are growing rapidly. In general, healthcare is a growing field. They expect it to grow by about 30% in the next decade. And in that would include careers for sonographers and vascular technologists. You'd be working most likely in a hospital. A little more than half of the careers are in hospital labs, but some people do work in physician offices, clinics, or imaging centers. Within the healthcare profession, on average, diagnostic medical sonography is expected to grow a little faster than the average for the next decade as the population grows and ages, and that's going to increase the need for diagnostic imaging. And I just wanted to show you a picture of Kelly. Kelly's one of our graduates. She's went on from Georgian Court to Rutgers, where she finished out her Bachelor of Science degree, which is what we do. You get a joint degree from Rutgers and Georgian Court. And she now works at Ocean Medical Center. So what would the program look like if you came to Georgian Court? You essentially spend, assuming you're a first-time freshman, if you're a transfer student, obviously it's a little different because it would depend on what of this lot you managed to transfer in. But basically anatomy, physiology 1 and 2, cell biology, genetics, microbiology, and some other biology electives. some physics, chemistry, and very importantly, medical terminology. When you finish those courses, among others in your Gen Ed as well, you would apply to Rutgers, and the minimum GPA overall to get into the program is about a 2.85. Typically, students do need to do a little better than that to have a really good shot of getting in there. Also, you do need to have that B- or better in A&P that I mentioned before. So anatomy, physiology is super important. They interview you, so it's not automatic. It's not just about your grades. You do need to make a good impression on them when you go. And if you get into the program, it would then be another 15 months with a mixture of coursework and work experience, with the coursework focusing on the clinical kinds of courses. You would then take a qualification exam and gain your certification in medical imaging. I know that was quick, but hopefully it gave you flavor for the program. One of the things I love about Georgian Court is because we're small, we're able to really help students thrive. So some of the classes that are required for the program are very challenging, but at Georgian Court we support you all the way, and we have an incredibly good record of getting students into these programs. More of our students on average get into these programs at Rutgers than you would expect given the size of our institution by a pretty good measure. So if you're interested in these programs, Georgian Court is a great starting point. And from Georgian Court, you would jump off into a successful career, starting with your 15 months of clinical training at Rutgers. And you would graduate at the end of the period at Rutgers with a degree that basically is conferred by both Rutgers and Georgian Court. I hope to see you at Georgian Court someday soon. I hope to see you someday soon, period. I've been in my house for 30 days now, and I'm going a little cray-cray. So hopefully we'll catch up with each other soon. If you need me, here's my email address. Please don't hesitate to get in touch. And hopefully this has been useful. Have a great one. Bye.